Earlier today, there was a flag raising for Juneteenth and LGBTQ, so I already feel so welcome in Chicago. On World Refugee Day, I am reminded of my own journey. 10 years ago, I arrived in the United States fleeing persecution as a member of the gay community from Nigeria. My search for home taught me a lesson about belonging, that simply having a place to lay your head at night doesn't mean you belong to that community. As we know, in Chicago 2 years ago, activists demanded funding for existing Chicago residents, and the city mayor tries to deal with the influx of migrants to Chicago. I remember Mayor Johnson said, "We are the city of Chicago, and our shoulders are big enough to support both new arrivals and those who call this city home." So give a round of applause for Mayor Johnson. Chicago has always and have always been shaped by people who arrive from somewhere else. From Brownsville, from the little village to Roger Park, generations of newcomers have come to call this city home. Chicago refugees and immigrants are not new to that story as well. Chicago's story hasn't been shaped by exclusion. It has been shaped by inclusion. And that's why, in my experience as a gay man, I am able to stand proudly on Pride Month and World Refugee Day and speak about those both identities proudly. There was a time in my life where I would be persecuted for doing so. So I am proud that America has given me the opportunity, and Chicago has welcomed me to be myself fully in front of all of you. When I arrived in America, many people do not have an understanding of why a gay man should be seeking refugee status. In LGBTQI spaces, there was often little understanding of forced displacement. In the Black community, I was considered African. In the African community, I was considered gay. In every community I found myself in, I was considered the other. Many LGBTQ migrants still navigate those same intersectionality today. When I work with organizations helping refugees, I still have to educate them on why LGBTQI people still need protection. The challenge is not simply finding safety, but finding belonging. As the Trump administration attacked LGBTQI community and Chicago as a safe city, it even becomes more important that we create opportunities for people who come here to not only feel like they are a burden, but to feel like they are a member of our community. So let me tell you a story about a friend who participated in welcoming a new LGBTQI folk to Chicago. The volunteer who helped welcome an LGBTQI folk to Chicago said, "When we began the relationship, it seemed like I was helping them navigate life in America. But I later learned that a genuine friendship was forged as a result of this. That is what welcome looks like. It's not charity, it's relationship." It always bugged me when Americans who try to welcome refugees feels like the refugees become a property that they have to take care of. We refugees want an opportunity to create a life for ourselves. And what World Refugee Day tried to signal, like the first speaker just illustrated, that we are multitude. We're storytellers, we're actors, we're writers, we're doctors, we're engineers. We just want an opportunity to begin our life in a new country. And that is what my call is all about. As the Executive Director of Refuge America, our goal has been to build welcoming communities for LGBTQI folks across the United States. Today, we still know that in 60 plus countries around the world, it's still illegal to be gay. So one of the arguments people have is like, why do people still have to come to the United States despite all its flaws? LGBTQI people who come here can still have a sense of safety. And that is what I want us to protect. The America that welcomed me as a gay person to live my life here without having to hide because of a federal administration. Refugee admission shouldn't be a thing of division by US government. It is a law that grants people fleeing persecution an opportunity to rebuild their life. It's not politics. I know the reality intimately. As a gay refugee from Nigeria, I know what it is to live under threat of anti-gay persecution. Today, trans Americans feel that same threat in America, a country I idolized because I felt I would be myself here. When LGBTQI asylum seekers arrive in the US, many face double isolation. They are trying to seek safety, but they are also trying to be themselves in a new country. We at Refuge America connect these LGBTQI people to everyday community. And that is my call to all of you as Chicago residents. And when a newcomer comes to your community, it is more than just providing social services for them. It is trying to create a sense of belonging and community for them. And I will end with this. If we are serious about making the city of Chicago a welcoming city for LGBTQI refugees, we must move beyond crisis response and involve ourselves in investing in long-term belonging. Many organizations that provide services for refugees, they want you to resettle in 90 days. How many people, if I take them to Chicago, from Chicago to Iowa, can rebalance themselves in 90 days? The tasks seem unsurmountable. So we need everyday people to be kind to refugees, to show them care, to make them feel like they are part of our community. That goes a long way in making people feel like they are welcome. So let me end properly by saying this. We are trying to recruit everyday Chicago people to become community sponsors, to do the simplest things for refugees, to take them to a social security appointment, to take them to their first pride parade, to be a neighbor. We cannot allow the federal government to prevent local organizing, which is the backbone for welcoming refugees in our everyday life. Today, we face a choice. We can allow fear to divide us, or we can build the kind of city that welcomes people like me to America, because the strongest support systems are rarely built from the top down. They emerge when communities decide that someone else's well-being is their responsibility too. So I want all of you to commit to refugees' well-being to being your responsibility too. Thank you, Chicago.